Hello kids, how are you? Okay, here I am back with the continuation of the lesson that we have already done in our previous class. Okay, hope you remember the name of the lesson, Tom and his tooth. And here I am to teach the continuation of what we did before. I am Lakshmi Ajay and here we shall move on with the rest of the lesson. Are you ready with your textbooks? Okay, good. Now, here we are on the third session of the lesson, Tom and his tooth. What's the name of our lesson? Tom and his tooth. We already saw Tom in the previous class, isn't it? So, in today's class, we are getting introduced to a new character in the story. We already saw three characters, Tom Sawyer, Sid Sawyer and Aunt Polly. Now, today we are going to see another character and her name is Mary. So, we'll just review the name of the characters once again. Tom Sawyer, who's the main character, a very naughty boy, a very mischievous and imaginative boy, and he's almost 12 years old. And then you have Sid Sawyer in the story. Sid Sawyer is Tom's cousin. He's a person who behaves quite well, but what is he known for? He enjoys getting Tom into trouble. That is what he is best in. Okay? And he is almost 9 years old and he loves telling lies. Okay? Then you have Mary, the new character whom you are going to see in this part of the lesson. And Mary is Tom's another cousin. Then you have the character whom we have already seen from the first portion onwards. That is Aunt Polly. She is Tom's guardian. And she is a very simple and a very kind-hearted lady. So, these are the characters whom we are going to witness today. Tom Sawyer, Sid Sawyer, Mary and Aunt Polly. Okay. Now, this was the portion where we have already stopped in the previous lesson. We saw Tom Sawyer, who is very naughty, who does not want to go to school on a Monday morning. Remember that? On a Monday morning, he feels lazy and he does not want to go to school. And he is trying to give lots of excuses in order to skip from going to school. He is telling all kinds of excuses to his aunt. And then he says he has an injury on his toe. When he says he has an injury on his toe, what does Aunt Polly do? She puts on her glasses and checked Tom's toe. And she understood that this is his excuse in order to skip the school. So suddenly she began to laugh and cry at the same time. And she understood that there's no problem with your toe, she said. Now get out of bed and get ready for school. So this part was the assignment that was given to you last class, isn't it? So she began to laugh and cry at the same time. Hope you have all done it. Why did she laugh and cry at the same time? Yes? She laughed and cried at the same time because she understood that Tom was trying to play fun. He was just trying to give an excuse in order to skip from going to school. So, looking at the injury on his toe, unknowingly, what did Aunt do? She just burst out in laugh and at the same time she felt like crying. Okay, so she began to laugh and cry at the same time and asked him to get out of bed and get ready to go to school. Okay. Now, this is the part that we are going to deal with today. That's on page number 11. Okay, so you can look into your textbooks on page number 11. Suddenly, Tom stopped groaning and added. We saw the meaning of this word groaning in the previous lesson, to give out a loud cry. Okay, so Tom stopped groaning. He did not cry after that. He stopped groaning. And what is the next excuse that he is trying to say? He says, it's my tooth as well. So the first excuse that he gave was he has an injury on his toe. That did not work out. Okay, so now he understood that he has to find out another excuse. And what's the next excuse that he says? It's my tooth as well. I have pain on my tooth also. Your tooth? What happened? Asked Aunt. Your tooth? What happened? Oh, it's loose and painful. painful. My tooth, it seems to be very loose and I have pain on it. It's loose and painful. And then she says, open your mouth. Now you have the word painful highlighted here. You have in your textbook, you have the opposite given, antonyms. Antonyms means opposites. Okay. The opposite of the word painful is painless. Opposite of the word painful is painless. Okay. So what does he say? It's loose and painful. I have pain on my tooth and it seems to be very loose and it's very painful. Okay. Now what does the aunt say? Come on, open your mouth. Let me see. She wants to check his mouth. Open your mouth, Tom. And you can look at the picture of Tom opening his mouth. And what does she say? Yes, the tooth is indeed loose. But I'm sure it won't kill you. It's not going to bring any difficulty upon you. It's not going to kill you. It's not going to bring death upon you. Okay. Yes, I'm sure the tooth is indeed loose. Yes, it's clear. It's very loose. But it won't kill you. She says, it won't kill you. He stands there with his open mouth. The mouth is still kept opened. Now, yes, the tooth is indeed loose, but it won't kill you. Now she asks, now the new character comes up, Mary. Okay, the aunt is asking Mary, Mary, fetch that strong piece of string and the lump of hot burning coal from the fireplace. Now come on, Mary, what is your duty? You have to go and fetch that strong piece of string and the lump of hot burning coal from the fireplace. Now what is this coal? Coal is what burns on. And you have these in fireplaces where you can know your mother's or your grandparents will. At least you have seen in pictures, in movies and all, where this burning of in the kitchen and all, the burning takes place under the fuel. You get fuel from this. Okay. So burning coal from the fireplace. So go and fetch what? A lump of hot burning coal from the fireplace. Go there. I want you to fetch a lump of hot burning coal from the fireplace. And in this it is clearly mentioned who is Mary. Mary was Tom's cousin. So Mary's duty was to go and fetch a lump of hot burning coal from the fireplace. Now what is lump? Yes, lump, it's given in your textbook. It's a piece of solid matter without any particular shape, like the stones. Okay, so she has been asked by the aunt to go and fetch a lump of hot burning coal from the fireplace. Okay, and she is a very obedient girl. She has gone for that. Okay, now Tom understood that he is in trouble. Okay, he understood that this is going to be a very mischievous day. If this aunt is going to has decided to get the burning coal, means he understood he is in trouble. Okay, so now what is Tom's turn? What does he say? Oh, please don't pull my teeth out. It doesn't hurt now. I want to go to school. I am okay. There is no pain. I am okay. I am ready to go to school. Please don't pull my teeth out. Please don't pull it out. It's loose. That's okay. Let it be there. Please don't pull it out. I will get ready to go to school. I want to go to school. He agrees to go to school. And then Aunt Polly, what does she do? She understood that this was Tom's plan to escape going to school. There you are. So the problem was about going to school. I know that you would love to go fishing. Yes, now I understood your real problem. See, there you are. Now the matter is very clear. There you are. So the problem was not about going to school. Now I understood. The problem was not about going to school. You want to go for fishing. I know you love fishing. So instead of going to school, you might have wanted to go for fishing. That was there in your mind. I understood. There you are. You are caught now. I understood what was your intention. I know that you love going for fishing rather than going to school. Okay. So now, by this time, when this conversation is taking place, when this dialogue is taking place, Mary is here. Okay. In the meanwhile, Mary came in with a piece of string and the red hot coal. Okay. Now, Mary is here with the piece of string and the red hot coal. What did Aunt do? She skillfully tied one end of the thread to Tom's tooth and she tied the other end to the bedpost. Okay, so now the real drama is going to take place. He is going to be caught. Mary is here and what does she have? She has a piece of string and the red hot coal. And this Aunt, what is she going to do? She has tied one end of the thread of Tom's tooth and tied the other to the bedpost. You have the picture here. You have the string which Mary has brought. With that string, she has tied Tom's tooth and the other end to the bedpost. Okay, so one of the string is tied to his tooth and the other end is tied to the bedpost. Okay, so now let's see what is going to happen. So she had brought the string. The string is there. Now Aunt has tied the string, one end to his tooth and the other end to the bedpost. Now the next thing that she has in her hand is the charcoal, the coal. Let's see what she is going to do with it. Now in this you have the meaning of the word skillfully. Skillfully means to do some work very well. Doing something very well. So Aunt Polly skillfully tied one end of the thread to Tom's tooth and the other to the bedpost. Okay. Then what is the next plan? What did she do? She swayed the burning coal near Tom's face. What did she do? She swayed the burning coal near Tom's face. Yes, the burning coal which Mary has brought, that has been brought very close to Tom's face and she began to sway it. Sway it means to move from one side to another. Okay. In the cradle, when you lie as a baby, you are swayed, isn't it? Okay. So, swayed means move from one side to another. So, what did she do? She swayed the burning coal near to Tom's face. Now, this burning coal is brought near Tom's face. And when this coal is brought, you know, it is hot. Okay. And when this coal is brought near Tom's face, what will happen? It's hot. So what does she do? What does any human being, what do? They just take off their face, isn't it? Because it is hot. Similarly, what did Tom do? Tom pulled his face back because it is hot. All on a sudden, it's a very spontaneous action. He just pulled his face back. And what happened after that? The tooth came out. It hung swinging by the bedpost. See, in the previous picture, you saw that there was a thread, isn't it? The one end of the thread was to Tom's tooth, other was to the bedpost. And what did Aunt do? She brought this coal very close to Tom's face. It is very hot, okay? It was brought very close to Tom's face. And what did Tom do? It was so hot that he just pulled his face back. Very suddenly, very spontaneously, he pulled his face back. And the tooth came out. Okay, what has happened to the tooth? Now the tooth is hanging by the bedpost. It hung swinging by the bedpost. It is now swinging by the bedpost. Swinging means to move from one end to the other. So you have the thread there and the tooth is there swinging by the bedpost. Okay. So we saw the meaning. Sway means to move from one side to another. So this is what we saw, what has happened to his loose tooth. Now there is no other way. The injury of the toe is over. And then what about the tooth? That is also now pulled off. So he has no other excuse to give. He had to go to school. Okay. So after giving all these lame excuses, and finally Tom had to go to school. Tom had to go to school. And at school, he proudly showed his tooth to his friends. Okay. So, to everyone there in school, what did he do? He very proudly showed his tooth. Do you do that, children? Your tooth also becomes loose and falls down. Do you usually take your tooth and show it to your friends? No, that's bad, isn't it? It's bad, man. It's a bad habit. If anyone brings his tooth and shows it to his friends, isn't it? But our Tom, he's naughty. He's mischievous. That is why he's doing all this. Everyone spoke about how brave he was. So everyone, all of his friends are also naughty like him. And he says, oh, you're so brave to have taken your tooth like this. See, at school, he proudly showed his tooth to everyone. The naughty Tom. Don't do that, okay? So the naughty Tom, he showed his tooth to everyone. And everyone spoke about how brave he was. So in their eyes, now Tom is almost like a hero. Okay. The word brave. You are very familiar with this word, isn't it? Brave. Now, there is an opposite for that word. Brave, opposite is coward. Okay. Brave, coward. C-O-W-A-R-D, coward. So that's with the lesson. So I hope the lesson is clear to you. We saw how Tom was trying to give excuses in order to skip the school. He was trying to say that he has an injury on his toe, but that did not work out. Then he says, I have loose tooth. And then when he says this difficulty or this excuse, what does his aunt do? She just comes forward. What does the aunt just comes forward and just pulls it out in a very adventurous manner, isn't it? And there, finally, the excuse is done with and he had to go to school. So finally, he goes to school and behaves in a very heroic manner as if he has done something great, showing his tooth to everyone. Okay, so that's our lesson. I hope the lesson is clear to you. You have understood the lesson. I want you to read the text again and again, maybe twice or thrice, so that the idea is clear. Okay. And now, from the text, you have a small exercise which is there in your textbook. Put a tick mark if the sentence is right and cross if it is wrong. Now this exercise comes in on the next page. Okay, that is on page number 12. There you go. Put a tick mark if the sentence is right and a cross mark if the sentence is wrong. Okay, that's your question. You just put an into mark. If it is wrong, you can put a tick mark if it is right. Your first question. Tom was looking forward to school on Monday. Was he eagerly waiting to go to school on a Monday morning? No, he was not, isn't it? So you have the cross mark because he was not eagerly waiting to go to school. Now your second question. So I want you to put the marking in your textbook. Okay. Tom's stomach and head felt all right. His head and stomach did not have any difficulty. What do you say? Was it right or wrong? It's right, isn't it? He was perfectly okay, but he was trying to give excuses. Tom's stomach and head felt all right. Correct. Sid woke up as soon as Tom started groaning. So as soon as Tom started groaning, as soon as Tom started to give loud cry, what did Sid do? Sid woke up. No, that's not right, isn't it? He had to wait for some time. He had to call on Sid again and again in order to wake him up. So that is wrong. Now coming to your fourth question. Sid cried out to Aunt Polly that Tom was about to die. That is why the Aunt comes straight away up to the stairs, isn't it? She comes climbing the stairs when she hears from Sid that Tom was about to die. That's right. Extremely correct. Now your last question. Aunt Polly believed Tom's story about the toe. The first excuse that he was trying to say is that he has an injury on his toe. So Aunt Polly believed Tom's story about the toe. What did she do? Did she believe? No, isn't it? She just laughed and cried at the same time. So the aunt did not believe Tom's story about the toe. So this is the exercise that you have in your textbook. I hope the exercise is clear to you and I hope you have done it in your test. Now in your textbook, there is a grammar portion mentioned that is referring to noun phrase. That portion you don't have to study. We don't have that section in your 4th standard. We will be dealing with it only when you go to your higher classes. Now in this text, you have a section in the vocabulary part that comes around on page number 14. Okay, on page number 14, you have the vocabulary section. Now, you are familiar with words. Now, certain words, for example, ice. You have ice. What is the other ice? I-C-E. The ice cream which you love, isn't it? So, ice, the spellings are different, but you pronounce it in the same way. They have the same sound, isn't it? So, the words which have the same, sometimes the same spelling, but sometimes different spellings, but sounds the same sounds, they are called as homophones. Okay, so homophones, phones mean sound. You know what is a phone, isn't it? Meaning of the word phone is sound. Homo means same. So, same sound. That is what you call as homophones. So, homophones means the words, sometimes they have different meanings, but sometimes different spellings also, but they are pronounced in the same way. Okay, now look at here you have an example. The word R-O-S-E, this example is there in your textbook itself. Okay, rose means to rise up. You rise up early on from bed to rise up. You have the picture here, a boy trying to rise up. So rose, R-O-S-E means to rise up. Again, you have another word, R-O-S-E, which means you are all familiar with it. The flower, which you have it in your garden, isn't it? Yes, you have the picture here. So rose, the word has two different, the way it is pronounced in the same way, but two different meanings. Okay, the word spells the same, R-O-S-E. One of it which means to rise up, and another again R-O-S-E. The spelling is the same, but the meaning is different. So the spelling same and the meaning different, but pronounced in the same way. Rose, rose. So rose, which means to rise up, and rose, the flower. They are called homophones because the spelling is the same, but the meaning is different. But they are pronounced in the same way. Okay. Then I'll give you one more example. That's all there. That's also there from your text. Hair and hair. Okay. You're familiar with H-A-I-R and you're familiar with H-A-R-E. Now here, the two words, they have two different spellings and two different meanings. But what about the way you pronounce it? The pronunciation is the same. Hair, hair. Pronounced in the same way. So H-A-I-R, what you have on your head, the black hair, isn't it? So hair, what you have on your head. You have the picture of a girl trying to comb her hair, okay? And then H-A-R-E, H-A-R-E, what is H-A-R-E? It's an animal, the rabbit. Otherwise it's called rabbit. So H-A-R-E, and animal. So H-A-I-R is what you have on your head and H-A-R-E is the animal. So here also quite different from the words R-O-S-C, R-O-S-E, the previous one, where one of it which means to rise up and the other which means the flower. Both have two different meanings, but the spellings are the same and the pronunciation is also the same. Here, H-A-I-R and H-A-R-E. The spellings are different. The meanings are different. But how do you pronounce it? Pronounce it in the same way. Hair, hair. Okay. So you pronounce them in the same way. So, I hope the idea of homophones is clear to you. Now, you have an exercise regarding this. That is, fill in the blanks with the correct word. Now look at your first question. Our teacher is always dash. She never punishes us unnecessarily. Okay. Our teacher is always dash. She never punishes us unnecessarily. And you have in your bracket F-A-I-R and F-A-R-E. Two different spellings but pronounced in the same way. F-A-I-R, F-A-R-E. Now the meanings are different. Now what about this F-A-I-R? F-A-I-R means there is no discrimination. The teacher is not partial. Okay? F-A-I-R. So here the answer is our teacher is always fair. F-A-I-R. What do you mean by F-A-R-E? F-A-R-E is the money that you pay to buy something. Okay. So our teacher is always fair. Our teacher is always perfect. She never shows any discrimination. She never shows any partiality. Okay. So our teacher is always fair. She never punishes us unnecessarily. Now look at your next question. Luke dash, in bracket you have two words, ate and ate his dinner and went to bed. Ate. Both the words are pronounced in the same way. The spellings are different, the meanings are different, but pronunciation is the same. Now I know you are familiar with the meanings of both the words. I don't have to explain it, isn't it? 8 is the number, 8 is the past tense of eat, isn't it? So Luke dashed his dinner. What will come here? Yes, very good. A-T-E. Ate his dinner. Now look at your third question. Sticks and stones may dash my bones. In bracket you have the word break. Break. Here the spellings are different. The meanings are different. But the pronunciation is the same. B-R-E-A-K. B-R-A-K-E. You can see that the spellings are different and two different meanings. Break. Your B-R-A-K is the brake that you apply or your parents apply when they drive the car, isn't it? You have to apply the brake. B-R-E-A-K. You break things, isn't it? You break your glasses. So when it falls down, it breaks, isn't it? So sticks and stones. What will be the answer here? Very good. B-R-E-A-K. Break my bones. That's answer. Sticks and stones may break my bones. B-R-E-A-K. Now your fourth question. My school cricket team is the number dash team in the city. In your bracket, you have two words, W-O-N-O-N-E, one, one. Both are pronounced in the same way. As we said, the spellings are different, the meanings are different. Okay, one, one. So what will come here? My school cricket team is the number one team. O-N-E. Correct? My school cricket team is the number one team in the city. Now we have come to the last question of the section. The cave on top of the hill belongs to the dash. Look at the question. The cave on top of the hill belongs to the dash. In bracket, you have B-E-A-R, B-A-R-E. Here also, bear, bear. Both the spellings are different, the meanings are different, but remember, you pronounce it in the same way. Bear, bear. Now, what is this bear? B-E-A-R. You know the animal, isn't it? B-E-A-R. Now, what is B-A-R-E? You go barefoot, isn't it? When without slippers and you get scoldings from your mom, right? Yes. So, that is bear, B-A-R-E. So, what will be the answer here? The cave on top of the hill belongs to the bear, B-E-A-R. Very good. Now, I hope the idea is clear to you. Have you understood homophones? Sometimes the spellings are different. Sometimes the meanings are different. But always the pronunciation will be the same. Okay? Got it? That is what you call as homophones. Now, here's an assignment with what we have done before, what we have done just now regarding homophones. Write down 3 examples of homophones along with their meanings. I already gave you one example. Eyes and eyes. E-Y-E-S, I-Z-E. Okay, so just like that, you can give any number of examples. But here, the assignment has been restricted just to 3 examples. Just note down 3 examples, but along with that, those 3 examples, you have to write down their meanings also. Okay? Clear? I hope the matter is clear, the concept is clear. I want you to read the text as I have told you. I want you to be thorough with the exercise. Go through it again and again. And if you have any doubts, you can contact me. My number is also given here, 9895772026. Hope it's clear to you. Okay? So have a good day. Thank you.